Hello everyone, welcome to the chapter number 4 of Java tutorials. In this class we are going to discuss the concept Java object and classes. Java is a object-oriented language. As a language that has the object-oriented feature, Java supports the following fundamental concepts: polymorphism, inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction, classes, objects, instance, method, message parsing. In this chapter, we will look into the concepts, classes and objects. Let's start with the object. Objects have states and behaviors. For example, a dog has states, color, name, breed, as well as behaviors, wagging the tail, barking, eating. An object is an instance of a class. Class. A class can be defined as a template blueprint that describes the behavior or state that the object of its type support. Objects in Java. Let us now look deep into what are objects. If we consider the real world, we can find many objects around us: cars, dogs, humans, etc. All these objects have a state and a behavior. If we consider a dog, then its state is name, breed, color, and the behavior is barking, wagging tail, and running. If you compare the software object with the real world object, they have very similar characteristics. Software objects also have a state and a behavior. A software object's state is stored in fields and behavior is shown via methods. So in software development, methods operate on the internal state of an object, and the object-to-object communication is done via methods. Classes in Java. A class is a blueprint from which individual objects are created. Following is a sample of a class. Example: public class dog, strings used breed, age, color, and the methods: hungry, barking, and sleeping. A class can contain any of the following variable types. Local variables. Variables defined inside methods, constructors, or blocks are called local variables. The variable will be declared and initialized within the method, and the variable will be destroyed when the method has completed. Instance variables. Instance variables are variables within a class but outside any method. These variables are initialized when this class is initiated. Instance variables can be accessed from inside any method, constructor, or blocks of that particular class. Class variables. Class variables are variables declared within a class outside any method with the static keyword. A class can have any number of methods to access the value of various kinds of methods. In the above example, barking, hungry, and sleeping are the methods. Constructors. When discussing about classes, one of the most important subtopic would be constructors. Every class has a constructor. If we do not explicitly write a constructor for a class, the Java compiler builds a default constructor for that class. Each time a new object is created, at least one constructor will be invoked. The main rule of constructors is that they should have the same name as the class. A class can have more than one constructor. Following is an example of the constructor. Public class puppy, and the constructor which is inside this class with the same name puppy. We have two different types of constructors. We are going to discuss the constructors in detail in the subsequent chapters. Let's start with creating an object. As mentioned previously, a class provides the blueprints for objects. So basically, an object is created from a class. In Java, the new keyword is used to create new objects. There are three steps when creating an object from a class: declaration, instantiation, initialization. Declaration: a variable declaration with a variable name with an object type. Instantiation: the new keyword is used to create the object. Initialization: the new keyword is followed by a call to a constructor. This call initializes the new object. Following example of creating objects. Accessing instant variables and methods. Instance variables and methods are accessed via created objects. To access an instance variable, following is the fully qualified path. First, create an object. Object reference is equals new constructor. Now call a variable as follows: object reference dot variable name. Now you can call a class method as follows: object reference dot method name. This example explains how to access instance variables and methods of a class. Source file declaration rules. As the last part of this section, let's now look into the source file declaration rules. These rules are essential when declaring classes, import statements, and package statements in a source file. There can be only one public class per source file. A source file can have multiple non-public classes. The public class name should be the name of the source file, as well as which should be appended by .java at the end. For example, the class name is public class employee, then the source file should be employee.java. If the class is defined inside a package, then the package statement should be the first statement in the source file. If import statements are present, then they must be written between the package statement and the class declaration. If there are no package statements, then the import statement should be the first line in the source of file. Import and packages statements will apply to all the classes present in the source file. It is not possible to declare different import or package statements to different classes in the source file. Classes have several access levels, and there are different types of classes: abstract class, final classes, etc. We will be explaining about all these classes and in the access modifiers chapter. Apart from the above mentioned types of classes, the Java also has some special classes called inner classes and anonymous classes. The Java package. In simple words, it is a way of categorizing the classes and interfaces. When developing applications in Java, hundreds of classes and interfaces will be written. Therefore, categorizing these classes is a must, as well as makes life much easier. Import statements. In Java, if a fully qualified name which includes the package and the class name is given, then the compiler can easily locate the source code or classes. Import statement is a way of giving the proper location for the compiler to find that particular class. For example, the following line would ask the compiler to load all the classes available in the directory Java installation java/io, and that's import space java.io.star. A simple case study. For our case study, we will be creating two classes. They are employee and employee test. First, open Notepad and add the following code. Remember, this is an employee class and the class is the public class. Now save this source file with the same name, employee.java. The employee class has 4 instance variables: name, age, destination, and salary. The class has one explicitly defined constructor, which takes a parameter. The example is provided in the documentation file. You can copy the code and try it on your Java compiler. As mentioned previously in this tutorial, processing starts from the main method. Therefore, in order for us to run this employee class, there should be a main method and object class should be created. We will be creating a separate class for these tasks. Following is the employee test class, which is also provided in the documentation file. Don't need to worry about that, which creates 2 instances of the class employee and invokes the method for each object to assign values for each variable. Save the following code, which is available in the documentation file, employee test.java file, and try compiling and executing that, and you will see an output which says the name, age, and destination, salary of 2 employees. Well, that's in for the tutorial. We hope you enjoyed our tutorial in Java. We'll get back with more tutorials on Java. Thank you. Have a great day.